Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Parents Go Live.
Yeah, we only hear Cage.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Parents Go Live. We have changed our name and done a lot of behind the scenes actions. But we're no longer Parents of Twitch, obviously. Yeah, that was my fault. Sorry about that. A lot of moving parts, and sometimes Cage drops the ball. But we'll just redo it over again. Wikis, how's your day? Wikis, how is your day going, buddy?
Now it's not that well anymore.
It's not that well anymore? All right. Scary, what about you, buddy? Still tired?
I mean, it's not going to change.
Okay, cool. And Ben, again, thank you for coming. I know I'm doing this over again, but sometimes, again, sometimes somebody forgets to unmute the desktop audio so you can't hear people talking during the intro. And then you go into the podcast and don't realize that you muted that. And, that's just what happens sometimes, right? See what I mean about mistakes being made?
Yep.
That's what happens.
It happens.
So go ahead and introduce yourself again and say everything you literally just said, because I want to put this on YouTube and I want people to actually hear you this time.
Okay. So, my name is Ben. My channel is Ben B Rockin'. And I started streaming because my in real life friends started streaming. That was Herdior and Feel the Burnout. We all played games together. Just whatever we're in the mood for. And I figured out, well, if I'm already playing the game, I might as well stream it. So that's kind of how I got into streaming, just because they started doing it. So it's like I jumped in with. Still kind of learning because I'm gaming on Linux and I'm actually streaming on Linux too on one PC. So it has a little learning curve, but not that bad.
Yeah.
And
awesome. How long have you known Feel the Burnout and Hershier? Because they're awesome people, man. I talk to Hershier and Feel the Burnout. I feel like almost every other day.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They used to be down here in Georgia, where I am. So I was military, and that's why I came down here. And so were they. And that was how many years ago?
Is that how you met him?
2015
in the military.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brittany's
branch?
my wife.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What branch do you serve in? Air Force? Awesome.
Yeah. So Brittany somehow met Mel through something, and we ended up becoming close, and we used to do board game nights and or movie nights, or sometimes we'd go out and play video games together.
Oh, they love board games too. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Dude. I love watching them play
never,
board games too.
Yeah, I was never a board game kind of person. They kind of brought me into it. I'm still not really a board game person, but I'm trying.
Right.
Because now my kids like board games.
Yeah, it's like you don't have a choice. You have all these people around you, and you're just like, oh, God, dude, I really got to play a board game? Okay, fine.
Well, some of them are fun. Like, you have your classics like Monopoly, which ruins relationships, or you might have like Trouble or Scrabble, but there are way more than I imagined. I had no idea that there's this many board games.
She told me they have like hundreds of board games, and I was just like, what? And she's like, I'll watch and they'll talk about these board games, and I'll have no idea. I'm like, I've never even heard of that board game ever. And so I'll have to Google it, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, I'm actually Googling a board game, try to figure out what it is. But it's cool that they have a kind of a throwback thing like that, and it's nice, friendly, and it goes well with our community, obviously. And they're great people, man. And so, how long were you in the Air Force? Are you still in the Air Force?
No, I got a beard. No, I was in for 7 years.
Nice, 7 years, man. What was your job or MOS in the Air Force?
It was cyber. Cyber systems operations, which is kind of like a system administrator.
Yeah.
But then I started moving into cybersecurity. So that's what I'm doing now.
Nice. You're in the civilian world now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How does it? So how? Like I've asked some of my friends who were in the military before, but is it a huge change when you go from being full time, in the military, and then you come back to, like civilian life, and you're kind of, you don't have that like command structure and everything, kind of like telling you what to eat. So it's, I guess you're essentially kind of on your own, so to speak. Is it scary? Is it like, because 7 years is a long time, Ben. You know what I mean? Like,
it really depends on the person and like how young you were when you started serving and what job you were doing. I think those are kind of like the three main things. So for me, I was just a computer guy, but I had civilian jobs before the military.
Right.
So 2010 was kind of a crappy year for the economy.
Yeah.
And long story short, my wife had a nannying job for a Marine, and he PCS, which means he moved to another state.
Right.
So that was like a big loss of income for us. So I immediately had to find another job because I was working night shift.
Ooh, that's rough.
So I was looking for another job, and I just couldn't find it at all. And I told Brittany, I'm like, look, I don't want to join the military specifically. Not that I have anything against it. I just wasn't my thing.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I don't want to have to do it if I don't have to.
And there's nothing wrong with that at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I was like, I'll do it because I want to provide for my family. So we prayed about it. We talked about it. And a couple steps later, I ended up joining the Air Force. So I had jobs prior to that. So it wasn't really difficult for me. But I know that there are some people out there that they might start like when they just turn 18, and that's maybe like really their first job, or if it's more, I would say a job that's more, I would say not a desk job. Basically, that's
maybe,
what I have.
yeah,
I have
like maybe
job.
An infantry, something of that nature.
It might be harder.
I got you.
I don't know. Vets are pretty hardy people, so you can kind of deal with anything.
Yes, they are. All right, I'm just trying to get my.
When I think about the Air Force, I think you're flying airplanes, no?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that is part of it, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I flew a plane. It's called the RJ-45.
Which one? What type?
Yeah, RJ-45.
Oh.
Nice. So
that's an IT joke if no one understood it.
It's connector, isn't it?
Yes, it's the connector that goes to an Ethernet cable.
Oh, that's great.
Right.
That's good. I think that's the first IT joke we've had on here.
Said it, I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
I think that's the first IT
Now,
joke.
as you said it, now I remembered.
In fact,
Then I know this airplane.
yeah, it's like, do I know? I haven't seen this airplane before. Is it
I
well?
was flying it today.
Oh yeah, all the time, all day, every day.
Oh man. So how do you like streaming, and would you ever want, like, do you eventually want to make it your full-time career if you can, or do you just want to do it as a hobby and it's just kind of a place to meet people and, connect? And because I mean that's a main, that's a big, huge thing with streaming, is you meet new people, you connect with them, play video games with them, talk to them. And some people just want to do it, like I said, as a hobby, and they're just like, I get to meet new people, play with games with cool people. What's better than that? But some people want to take it a step further.
Yeah, for me right now it's just a hobby.
Right.
I have 2 toddlers and I have another baby on the way.
Oh, nice.
And I have a almost teenager, so I don't really have time except at night. That's why I only stream like 9 p.m. till whenever I need to go to bed.
I feel like 9 p.m. is the perfect time, because like you put your kids get bed around like 8:30, right? And they're just getting settled in to where you're like kind of listening and like, do I hear any noises? Is anybody yelling?
I wish they would settle in. You can hear them. I can hear them screaming and running around and jumping and stuff.
You just
Luckily, no one said anything on my stream, so maybe they can't hear.
Yeah. Well, or they just know. They're probably, if they're parents like us, they just know, like, okay, it's just as kids. Like, there's literally nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be 4 that you're gonna have soon.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, man, you have been busy.
Gosh dang.
So
Quarantine will do that.
yeah, I've only got 1 so far, but we're.
I heard they say after two, there's no difference. Two or four or five or.
Is it?
It okay. I know what you're talking about. So we have friends.
Is he lying, Ben?
Yeah, it kind of, but he's kind of telling the truth. So there's truth behind it. So the truth behind it is that um, when you have kids that are kind of in succession, they're about a year apart ish.
Right.
You'll have the older kids naturally want to have more responsibility, more freedom, and part of that is kind of taking care of the younger kids, not in like a neglectful way
Oh.
as a parent,
Wait,
but
we
like
want to take care of
they
the other
want to
kids.
help
I
out.
need to go talk with my daughter. Be right back.
Okay. but when you have some kids that are about a year apart, they want to be the most important kid. They want to be
Right.
the eldest,
And that
right?
makes them
That
feel
kind of
important because they're like, oh, I get to watch
yeah.
the younger kids.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm in charge.
I'm in
Like mommy and
charge.
dad's in charge, but really I'm in charge. That kind of kid mentality.
It's like I got responsibilities now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like you're the new kid on the block. I'm the vet. You got to listen to me now.
Yeah.
So,
oh man. That's
but
okay.
and in a way, you'll have
like I got years on me. Okay. Like you're gonna listen to me, little baby person. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I wasn't
inside
born
family
yesterday.
mafia.
You
Yeah.
were.
I was born. Yeah, you were born yesterday. I was born like 4 years ago.
But like I'll have my 12-year-old, and he'll want to read and want to interact. I mean, as all brothers and sisters do.
Yeah.
And and he'll kind of want to fill in those gaps of hey, we need to do dishes. Can you read to him real quick? And like, yeah, he'll do that.
That
so
is awesome
in a
though.
sense,
That you
yeah,
can
in a sense, they kind of like watch out for each. I mean, that's kind of what it is. What a family is. They kind of watch out for each other. But it's still just wild, crazy all the time. So don't get me wrong. It's still kids running around screaming all the time, but it's beautiful.
Is it like is it controlled chaos situation? Is that what it kind of
Yeah,
is?
Yeah, I would call it that. Yeah.
Because that's what my friend he's got. So he's got 3 kids usually, but then when his biological daughter comes by, it's they'll have 4 kids. So he's like, yeah, man, it's kind of like it's like a controlled chaotic thing, like a controlled explosion type of deal.
Yeah.
He's like, it's just
A controlled
multiple.
demolition.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, it's like multiple buildings just being blown up around you, but they're just kind of staying in their own little like path of destruction. And he's like, when that path moves out of its circle, that's when you got to worry.
Yeah.
And I went over there for his wedding, and he's like 4 kids. Like it's like you start playing with one and like messing around with one, and they all like feed off each other. It's like a chaotic feedback loop. So like one kid gets crazy, and then the next kid's like, well, he's getting crazy. I'm gonna get even crazier. And then the third kid's were like, well, I'm gonna get even crazier than you. And then it just builds, and he's like, you can't do that, man. You can't get crazy. Because then they all start getting crazy, and they want to one up each other constantly, and then you end up someone has been thrown through a glass window or something,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I don't know, man. I got 1 kid. Like, what do you want? You need.
That's when usually it ends. I know.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you can't do that. He's like, you got to concentrate on 1 kid. He's like, play with 1 kid. That way they can't feed off each other and destroy things, right?
I don't know. You kind of have to keep an eye on, like an eagle eye on all of them at all times.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
You'll
though.
be seeing 3 kids, and then you'll be like, why is it quiet? Where'd the other one go? We have 1 more kid. Where'd he go? And he's off. He like snuck behind the pantry, like doing something.
He was here a minute ago. I swear he was.
Yeah, you have to do a head count every like 5 minutes. Like 1, 2. Wait a minute, the middle one's gone.
You're
Where'd
like,
he go?
yeah, where's the third youngest?
Yeah.
Usually mine is digging dog's poop.
Digging
it's
dog's
quiet.
poop.
Well, his toilet. I mean, he likes to dig in his toilet.
Oh.
We have the same toilet as for cats.
Yeah.
We use the same
Oh.
for dogs, and but he barely uses it anymore. Maybe because he noticed that there is another family member who uses it. And that's our youngest one.
Makes
He just wants
sense.
to go inside and take those stones and like. And when it's quiet, that's where he is.
I've never heard of like I guess a dog litter box.
I also never heard, but our dog apparently
Wait a minute.
trained from
Hold
I
on.
don't know when.
A dog litter box?
I thought that's what he was alluding to.
Is that a thing? Is there a dog litter
It's
box?
not.
Okay.
It's not. You use the cat litter box.
So the
And my
dog
dog
and the
is using
cat
it.
use it. See, I wish that was the case, but my dogs and cats are good. My cats are good. They'll, they poop in their their tray, their cat tray, whatever you call it, litter box. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
But my dogs, no, they're like, hey, they'll go like this, like, oh, hey, I gotta poop, and then if you don't notice them, they're just like, I warned you, right on the floor, and it's like, what the hell, man? Why did you poop? I just walked you 30 minutes ago. It's like, well, I didn't have to poop 30 minutes ago, okay? I needed to poop 30 seconds ago, and I just did on the floor.
Oh God, it sounds like my son.
You're so
I'd be like, you gotta go to the bathroom. You gotta go to the bathroom. He's like, no. I walk away and I come back. He's like, I went to the bathroom. I'm like, why didn't you tell me?
You're like, where?
As soon as you sit down, Daddy, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, I was just up a
Basically.
second ago.
Do you think they like consciously like wait till you're sitting down or relaxed? Maybe they have like a sixth sense where they're like, ding 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 ding
Yeah.
ding. Is daddy relaxing?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I must.
I think it's more that they're not paying attention. Like, do you have to go to the bathroom? Like, no, because they don't think about it. And then like you sit down and they're like, maybe I do have to.
Yeah, then they start like
Yeah, you have to go to the
contemplating it.
bathroom.
They're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, do I
Wait a
have to go
minute.
to the bathroom?
No,
Right.
It's better when they are standing like this and like. Do you need to go to the bathroom? No, I'm fine. I'm
No,
fine.
no.
I'm fine.
or it's funny
And
is
like
you see
this
a
half hour.
you see a toddler in the corner and they're just like, are you upset? What are you doing over there?
Like,
And they're just,
do you need to talk? Do you need to talk to me? What's going on?
it's like, are you pooping? And they're like, yeah. You're like, okay, yeah.
So,
I'm done. Now we can talk.
Yes, now we can talk.
so is the pooping behind the couch? Is that a thing?
I think it is
Has-
because mine does it.
He does. Okay, because I'm
Like,
worried.
He'll hide. He'll like go in the corner. He'll go hide somewhere behind, and then he'll just go. And I'm like, "What are you doing over there?" He's like, "Nothing." and then you catch the whiff of it, and then you're like, are you
Oh,
pooping?" And
mother.
then he's like, no, and then he runs. I'm like, no, don't run.
Yeah, dude. My kid will do
I'm-
that. He'll be going. So like in the kitchen, right? We try to keep him out of the kitchen because it's got drawers and sharp anyways.
Mhm.
He'll be in his little walker, and like I'll be watching TV and talking to him. He'll slowly start inching to the kitchen. Slowly start inching towards the kitchen. And then I look at him and I say, Cooper, what are you doing? And as soon as I say that, he takes off at breakneck speed
Yeah.
into the kitchen going, like this evil, maniacal little child laugh. Like he knows, like, I'm going to get in the kitchen before you can catch me, Daddy. So,
all toddlers.
yeah, I can imagine he's going to definitely probably poop at least a couple of 100 times in the corner. What were you going to say, Ben? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, that's all toddlers. They, as soon as you, it's like, hey, what are you doing? They get that like grin. They're like, and then they just bolt.
Right. It's like he's found me out. I must complete my
Yeah.
task of evilness. So, do you?
So
who do you make clean up the poop? Does
What
the
are you
does the
Don't
kid
ask me,
clean
I
up the
don't
poop?
know who cleans up the poop.
it's in the
don't-
diaper, so I don't have to.
Well, no,
worry
no.
about
I
cleaning
mean,
it
I'm
other
thinking
than,
like my
changing the
buddy told
diaper.
me that his kid would go poop on the floor, like he would pull his
like he-
diaper down
Oh,
and
yeah.
go behind his couch and poop on the floor.
There is a phase where toddlers like to rip off their diaper.
Okay,
My 2-year-old,
Great.
or almost 2-year-old, has kind of gotten to that phase. So she did it for like a little bit. What you can do is you can get the onesies
yeah.
and you can like flip them around so that the zipper's on the back.
Yeah.
And then they can't try to rip off their diaper.
Nice. That's a smart ass. That's a smart move, man.
And what you can do is that, like, if they're getting a little too big for the onesie, like if it's an old onesie, then you can like cut the feet off the onesie. That way, like, you can put their feet through, and it's not like weird trying to make their foot
their
go in
feet
the other
is
direction.
like
Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, backwards onesie will help out with the toddlers trying to rip their diapers off, because there's nothing worse than like you wake up and you're like, it's a beautiful day. I got to go get my kids out of the bedroom, and then there's poop everywhere.
Oh
because
my
they took
god!
off their diaper.
It's like a
Yeah,
murder
they took
scene.
off the diaper and they go like this, freedom.
Oh god! You're like,
It's-
don't sling that around, Jesus Christ!
Oh my gosh, it's
I heard about it.
Oh my god!
yeah. I've been lucky. But I haven't had to deal with that yet. Because I just went in there like, you know what? We'll just get a new room.
Yeah.
Close the
You're
door,
just
we'll
like,
just get a new room.
you're like, we can just burn all this stuff, right? Just
Yeah,
burn it to
yeah,
the
that's
ground.
They don't need
Quarantine
this.
this room for now.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh, what's up, Burnout? So weird to remember the podcast is on and pull up to hear you guys talking about cats pooping. Well, listen, that's what happens in the Parents Go Live podcast. We talk about weird things. So, playing games on Linux. Do you only stream on Linux, or do you play all your games on Linux?
Yes.
Oh well, I guess the games that you can.
Yes.
Okay.
So, since I was 6 years old, I've been dealing with Windows. My dad had a Windows 3.1, like DOS 6, like
back
compact
computer. Dude, back in the day, bro.
It probably had like 16 megabytes of memory, probably.
That was back when you had to have. You're like, if you didn't have the floppy disk for the drivers, it's like you're screwed. You can't make the computer work. Yeah,
you're done. So I've been with Windows since then. I loved Windows 7. They were going to make a Windows 9, which is basically an upgraded, better version of Windows 7, but then they scrapped that project because Microsoft wanted to do this whole Windows on everything, Windows on your phone, Windows on your tablet, and they wanted to make it like one operating system to rule it all. So it's kind of like a jack of all trades,
a Lord of the Rings operating system.
Absolutely nothing. So that's why Windows 10 is the way it is.
Gotcha.
And I hate it. I've had to do sysadmin stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
especially from your point of view, doing IT and such like. So you get to see kind of a lot of things that normal people don't see when they're just playing on Windows 10, and you know what I mean. They see a few bugs or whatever. You get to see the nitty gritty of it, I guess you would say.
Yeah, luckily I don't have to deal with it on a day-to-day basis at work because I do something a little different. I'm not going to get into it, but it's doing a little something different. But so yeah, it's really annoying. Actually, I was going to make a top 20 list of why I moved to Linux. I can only think of 18, but that's still a lot.
Hey.
No, don't say anything bad about Windows. I don't want to move.
What's your top? I want to hear the top 3. Let's do top 3. Let's do top 3.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
If they weren't in any order, let me see.
And I mean, whatever comes to your mind, like, because obviously, I would like to get into Linux and stuff. It's just it. I think in the future it will be different. And it seems right now it's like people don't want to like conform and say like, oh well, let's make our thing work for everything, right? It's like, no, Windows, Apple, that's it. And it just kind of frustrates me because like, why can't you? It can't be that difficult to make it to where like, hey, you know what? Let's make it to where this game or this app or whatever it may be, it works with Linux, right? Honestly, I don't know 100% if that's true, but I feel like it wouldn't take that much effort.
Well, and here's the problem with gaming on Linux or just Linux anything in general. So what you do is you have the software developers and they're trying to think of, hey, how can we make the most bang for a buck? Well, obviously, if we sell it to the people that have who has the majority operating systems out there, that'd be Windows and Mac. They're like, well, Linux only makes up like 1% of the market share, so we're not going to do anything about it. And it's like, well, they also only have 1% of the market share because you don't make any programs for it.
Yeah.
Like it's just a catch-22. Like you're refusing to do anything to port things to Linux, so that's why not many people use it.
Exactly.
But there are, I would say, not many people, but a lot of people. There's a huge community online. Um, some people like Ubuntu. Some people like Arch-based distros, which would be like Manjaro, Arch itself, which you kind of build from scratch. Or what I'm using right now is Endeavor OS, which is a spiritual successor to Intergos. So I know if you don't know anything about Linux, that you're like, wow, what the heck is he saying? But those are kind of like the main ones that people, and Pop OS, which is a version, it's kind of like a deviation of Ubuntu. They made their own version of Linux too.
And these are kind of like almost like a cover plate sort of thing of they're all Linux, but they're different like interfaces, I guess is what you would say.
Yeah, well, so you have to get a little technical. So
Yeah.
Linux is the kernel. The kernel is kind of like the engine of the car, right?
Right.
So you have like a Windows, I don't know what it's technically called, but it's not DOS, but it's like you have the Windows kernel, which fuels the Windows car itself, which is called Windows 10.
Right.
Same thing with Mac OS. So Mac OS is actually a FreeBSD derivative. And FreeBSD is the derivative of Unix. Linux is a derivative of Unix. So Mac and Linux are very close but different.
Right.
In how they work. And Windows is its own thing. So basically, the Linux kernel is like the engine, and you can buy different cars with that same engine. Well, actually, you don't even buy it because Linux is free. You don't have to buy a license. You don't have to pay Microsoft 100, 200, whatever dollars.
I was about to say that's the awesome thing about Linux. You have to pay 100.
You can download it for free. Just go wherever. DistroWatch has some good examples of Linux, but a lot of people stick to Ubuntu, Pop OS, Manjaro, Arch, Mint. Yeah, Mint is also a deviation of Ubuntu. People kind of stick to those, but there's so many different flavors. There's also Fedora. There's Gentoo, which I mean, it's kind of be crazy to use that, but there's a lot of different flavors or distributions of the Linux kernel, and really, it's kind of like the only differences are the package manager, which is how you get apps, or like basically what the GUI looks like. Like, what does your desktop look like? What's your icons, your font, your theme?
And GUI is graphical user interface, right? I believe it's
Mint or Ubuntu. They're tasty.
Yeah.
They at least look good.
Yeah. So here's the thing, because you're saying, well, Mint or Ubuntu looks good, but even Mint and Ubuntu have their own variations of desktop environments. So I like XFCE because it's very lightweight. It looks kind of Windows 7-ish. But some people like Plasma, which is really flashy, which is really graphically intensive. It's not bad, just people like that. There's other ones that kind of look like Mac OS, which I think probably going to get it wrong. I think GNOME 3, it's whatever the latest Ubuntu thing is. It kind of looks like Mac OS. It has a dock at the bottom, and you click a button, and it comes up with your dashboard, which I don't really like that. I like a click, list your applications kind of thing.
So if someone's going to
highly customize it,
I got you. If someone's going to start out with Linux, what would be like the one? If they're like, tell me which one to choose, and they're like, they're not worried about really. They just want something that's going to be, I guess, user friendly. What would be your? Because I'm sure there's probably some people who are interested in Linux in our chat, or I'm interested in it, and I would like to know kind of like what a user-friendly one, I guess, starter, like a starter set, I guess you would say.
What I would say is I would recommend either Pop OS or Manjaro.
Gotcha.
I did my own Linux poll on Reddit's Linux gaming subreddit.
Yeah.
They also have like a Linux master race subreddit. I did it as well. And those were like the two highly rated. There's Arch and Ubuntu, but those results can be skewed. But I would say Pop OS and Manjaro would probably be the best ones for like new people to Linux. A lot of people recommend Ubuntu, and I started off on Ubuntu. A lot of people start off on Ubuntu. I just like something else. A lot of people start there and then launch off onto another distro.
Yeah.
But the good thing about Pop! OS and Manjaro is that they have NVIDIA drivers already a part of the operating system. So if you have an NVIDIA GPU, like you're good to go.
See,
I think Ubuntu's starting to do that too, but they're more user friendly with the other two.
That's nice because dealing with drivers, man, is a pain in the butt sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I do remember back in the day, I think they started. I think it was still like Windows 95, 2000. You still had to have, you couldn't like go find the drivers, and
you had to get the CD.
Yeah, that was always a pain in the ass for me because if you didn't have the right version, if you didn't have, and it was fun. It was fun for me and my dad when we were starting out, but it gets to the point to where you're just like, Jesus Christ, man, I just want to play. I just want to open my desktop up and.
It was same on XP.
Oh, it was, yeah, wasn't it?
I was making I would call it a Windows mixtape. I have a CD that you have Windows in it, and you have all the softwares that follows it.
Yeah, Windows mixtape. That's a good way of putting it.
Winamp, Internet Explorer. That's better than Internet Explorer. I mean, like Firefox or whatever. Because
I
Windows
had to
was
do the
always
same
bad.
thing. But what's good, and this is why I like an Arch-based distro like Endeavor or Manjaro, is because they have a repository. Like they just have a repo where you can type in the thing that you want and it just downloads it. And it takes like less than a minute. Downloads it, it's already installed. You don't even have to reboot your computer most of the time. So if I wanted like OBS, it's like OBS-Studio. Just download it. It's already there. It's good to go. It's already updated. And that's a great thing about a rolling release distro like Arch-based stuff. I'm getting really technical, but that's why I would recommend something like Manjaro, because it just, or Arch or Endeavor, because it just works. You don't have to deal with drivers. You may have to have a little more, be kind of tech savvy to know how the command line works, but it's not as hard as people make it out to be. I know a lot of people see the terminal and they're like, I don't want to deal with that.
Boom.
And it's not that hard. You just gotta. There's a learning curve, but it's not that bad.
I gotcha. So, how? I know you were talking to me. You saying you're not really into playing like AAA games, larger games, PUBG, different stuff like that. Does the Linux thing have anything to do with that, or is it just because that's just not what you're into? You know what I mean? Like, because I know, like me, I don't really play a lot of games that are huge and popular, except for like maybe World of Warcraft. But a lot of my other games that I play they're indie games, and they may have like maybe 1,000 people watching, like especially on Twitch or something, But yeah, I'm just kind of curious because everyone's answer is different. You know what I mean? So
yeah, so mine is not because of Linux. You can actually go to like a protondb.com.
Yeah,
it's a database for Steam's Proton. You can see like how the games list and rank on like whether it's going to play really well or whether it's not. You might have to tweak it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So, but it's not because of Linux. It's just because of personal preference.
I got you.
I'm pretty sure like the last major for real AAA title that had a lot of multiplayer involved, it's probably Left 4 Dead 2. And I just got tired of playing with like little kids that were just being jerks. And I'm like, look, dude, I'm trying to relax. I just got off work. I just want to kill some zombies. I don't want to deal with kids. I just want to play the game, enjoy it.
Your mom wants to relax too.
Yeah, so that's just personal preference of why I don't play like Fortnite or PUBG or whatever. I just don't want to deal with it. There's a lot of good indie titles out there too.
There really are.
Yeah,
and they don't get I feel like they don't get the support. It sucks because they don't get the support a lot of them need.
Yeah.
And like, for example, DayZ, it's been in development for quite a little while, and a lot of people kind of say give it a bad rap because it's been in development for so long, and they're just like, God, when is this game gonna be done? When is this game gonna be done? But it was getting maybe like 1,200 to maybe topping out at 3,000. And then all of a sudden, some two famous streamers started streaming it, and then it's like, oh man, now there's 50,000 people watching it, you know. And even when they stop playing it, it's up. Now it's like, you know, sometimes it's an average of 5,000, 7,000 people watching it. And I just feel like there's a lot of games out there that it sucks that that's all it kind of takes sometimes. It's just a popular streamer saying, hey, I'm going to try this out. Let's play it. And then people are like, oh, wow, this game is awesome. And it's like, it was always awesome. You just didn't know about it until that streamer started streaming it. So, yeah, I wish there was a way that there was, I don't know, that maybe we could get bigger streamers to, like, try out the game at least, maybe, and see if people like it. And, you know, like Outward is one of mine that I really like. That doesn't seem to get a lot of people watching it, but it's a great game, man. It's got awesome story, great gameplay. It's a little sluggish, but the game itself,
sluggish. It takes you like as a player, and it crumples you up and it beats you down till you are nothing.
But I get what you're saying. There's so many good indie games out there, man, and I just wish they got the limelight that they deserve, you know.
And see, I think I'm more single player, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've just kind of I've loved single player games that have the story, and then you kind of go back and replay it depending on how they set up the game. Like, it might be really fun to replay it again. Like, especially like if games have like a new game plus setting. That's my dog getting through the barricade. Yeah, depending on how the game is set up, like, replayability is awesome. But I mean, I do like doing some multiplayer stuff. Oh, you can see my dog.
Hey, guy. Hey, little guy.
Okay. Let me go.
You're good, man.
Quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's so cute.
Oh, so Wikis, man, how have you been, buddy? I feel like I haven't seen you in years, man.
It's just, I don't know. Time flies so fast. We were preparing for Christmas and buying a lot of gifts, and
how's that going? Are you done with Christmas shopping yet?
I think we did. Yeah. What about you?
I'm good now that I finally got my third COVID test back, and it was negative. So I literally got it back today.
Third.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing.
Are you going for a record?
I'm trying. Yeah, absolutely. The COVID test record.
Oh, thanks, Mel.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it, Phil. It's hard to like feel about it. Like, some people believe in it and they super believe in it, and some people think it's fake. And it's just this is the way I felt about it. Was I love my son, and I would rather take precautions, even if it isn't, you know. And like, let's say I got it and nothing happened, great. But I don't know if it would or not. So I was just like, you know what? I would rather do this myself and take precautions. That way I know for sure he'll be safe. And, you know, it sucked not being able to hold him, you know, and kind of having to like stay back away from him and stuff. But I tell you what, man, today when I got that test back, it was one of the greatest feelings ever, because I got to hold him and kiss him, and he was all like, get off me, daddy. You know, like pushing my face away and stuff. But I was like, no, come here. I'm going to give you daddy smooches. No, you know, it was just great. It made me feel really good. And so it wasn't horrible. And you know, that's the thing. I thought I was going to get so much done and be like, oh man, I'm going to edit YouTube videos. I'm going to play so many video games. I'm going to stream every day. And I didn't get anything done at all, because I'd sit down on my computer and I'd just be like, man, I'd really like to hang out with my wife and watch a TV show or hang out with my kid. And then you just think about that. So, yep, that's what I thought. I thought I was going to get done. Nope, didn't get anything done at all. Yeah, exactly.
Literally do nothing. Just sit next to my family and observe.
Right. It's
Drink a cup of tea and do nothing.
right, and it's like you don't realize that until you have to do something like quarantine. You don't realize how closeness to being close to your family it feels and how much you really need it, you know. So, yeah, sorry I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there, but I'm super happy. This is it's so great. I get to hold my kid, and I was just playing with him, and Alice was like, he needs to eat, and I was like, no, you're not going to get him back. I'm keeping him forever, you know. So, what kind of, so we saw your dog. What kind of pets you got? Is that your only pet, Ben?
Yes. It's a pit bull. I think it's purebred, but she is super sweet. But she's also super protective. But I love her. She's a great dog.
What's her name?
Freya. We didn't name her. She was a rescue pup.
You know what? You're a good guy, man. You can always tell. I feel like whenever someone rescues animals, they're usually pretty good people. Obviously, there's some people out there they rescue them and stuff to do things that are not worth mentioning. But most people, that's a great feeling to rescue an animal, you know. And you could go out and buy an animal or something, but like a rescue animal is great because like it's like you're bringing them into your home and they're all sad, or you know they might have been beaten, or maybe they were in a litter of something, and like there's a bunch of different cats and they didn't get a lot of attention, and you get to see like their true nature come out, I guess, you know, because they might be like they might feel like they can't be themselves because they were with a bad owner before, but then you're like, you know, it's okay. You can be yourself. You can, it's all right. You know, we're here. We're not going to hurt you. And it's really super cool to see that animal kind of evolve into a happy-go-lucky pet. Like, you know, we saw her bouncing back there. It looked like she wanted to lick your face off, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And that's the thing. Like, I know some people don't like pit bulls, but they are so sweet.
They really
They're
are.
just very protective.
They just know who their owners are, and they don't want people to come around their owners, and that's what dogs are for, you know,
right?
To help. That's why we bred dogs, is to protect, you know, like hunt, protect, protect families, protect the camp, whatever it may have been back in the day when we started domesticating wolves and whatnot. But that's just the way it is. A dog that drives a chariot of cats.
So the name Freya, I think, is like Norse goddess.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Nice.
I wikied it. I don't even remember if that's correct, but
it sounds awesome, so we're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
I found a nice quote. You can't buy love, but you can rescue it. Talking about dogs.
That's. I'm gonna cry, Wikis. That was a good one, man. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, I heard about it. They say you cannot buy
love,
but you can always get a dog.
It's a great feeling. I'm telling you, dude. We rescued this little kitty, a calico kitty, and she was so scared that she would lay in her litter box 24/7. She would just lay in her litter box and just lay down like this, and she would kind of like look around a little bit, but she would just lay there, and you could pick her up, and she would just be limp in your hands, and then as soon as you set her down,
just pretend being dead.
Yeah, right. It was like she was afraid, and she just was like, "Nope, no, oh, please put me back in my litter box. I don't want to do this." And then as she realized, like, oh, these people actually like me and want to feed me, take care of me. Then she started playing, and now she's like super friendly and always like rubbing up on you and stuff. And it's just a good feeling, man. It makes you feel great to see litter box kitty to super friendly kitty. So I get it, man. I understand why, and I think rescuing animals is, you know, obviously you don't want to have like 40 cats or anything. That might be
1 or 2 dogs is enough for me.
Dude, I kind of got married into it. Okay, the wife had we had one dog. Start off with one dog. And I had a dog. So we kind of combined those 2 dogs. Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you can take care of 40 kitties, then that's great. But one person, it seems like that's a lot to take care of for one person.
No, look, cats are jerks, and that's a good way to. I'm trying to keep it G for the stream. Like, cats are jerks. I don't really want a cat. And I've seen Feel the Burnout's cats, and they're cool, but I'm not a cat person. Yeah.
Oh my god, not a cat person. Yeah,
we're gonna fight. Okay.
This is the way cats are, man. Okay, dogs like always want to play and they love you. Like they're always like, whatever. We don't care what we're doing. Billy Sundown, dude, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, brother. But cats, it's kind of like they're like, no, listen, I'll tell you when I want to play. Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, you need to just.
Dogs are like this. Look, they feed me. They are gods.
Right.
And cats are like this. Hey, they feed me. I am the god.
I am the god. That is why you feed me, because I am the god, and you will do as I say, human. You'll do what I say, human.
Human.
Oh, but yeah, it's animals are, they're like I think my wife calls them her fur children. You sound like you look like you kind of know what that means a little bit, Ben.
Some people call them.
Yeah. So, yeah. And that was what we didn't have a kid, so she was like, "Well, they're my fur children," and so I was like, "Okay, I'll you know what, it is what it is. I'll deal with it. I don't have a choice really." And then we had a kid, and so I was like, "So does that mean we can get? Are we gonna like God forbid when the dogs and cats pass away, I don't want that to ever happen, but are we going to get more?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, just double checking, just so I can psych myself up for when I'm, 64 years old. I got 3 cats running around, 2 dogs, 1 parrot, 4 frogs, probably accumulating from the kids. Like, oh, Dad, I want to get this bearded dragon. Yeah, I'm gonna love it and feed it and take care of it." And then it's like, 3 weeks later, kids out playing.
Bearded dragon.
Yeah, now it's my bearded dragon.
Yeah.
No. It's always my daughter says it's my dog. Go for a walk with him. No. You want the dog or you don't want the dog? I don't understand. Feed him, walk him.
Yeah, you can't choose. You must do all the things. The dog, you can't just say, "Oh, I just want to love the dog." Dad, okay, feed the dog. Okay, I need you to feed the dog now. I'm done loving and petting him.
Clean up the dog poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, go clean up the poop in the backyard.
Right.
I don't know if I really want to do that. Well, that's what you signed up for.
Yeah, it's like, well, hey, listen, you see this contract right here? Dad, that's your hand. You're like, yeah, well, there's an imaginary contract that you signed here when you said, "I want that dog, Daddy. Can you get me that dog?" Yeah, it's right here in writing. Here's your little name. You signed it. So I'm waiting for that. Eventually, it's going to happen. I don't know when the age is that kids start saying, "I want goldfish," or.
Yeah, we should have made a contract. Yeah.
You didn't make your kids an amateur.
I agree.
Amateur.
Sign in blood. Like, no, you will take it.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
So Billy Sundown, I disagree.
Dog ever I had.
I would say dogs are not for needy people.
Cats are people need love. Yeah.
I got a dog because I wanted a guard dog. I like the big dogs, right?
Yeah.
So my mom has 4 chihuahuas.
Oh wow, chihuahuas.
And I'm like, Mom,
are they the teeny chihuahuas or like they're like full size chihuahuas?
I don't know. Are they
so like
about that big? Like I could.
So like there's
probably
one
all
that you
of
can
them
like
in my
hold in your
arms.
hands and they're like, like they're like maybe this tall, but then there's like the medium ones that are size of maybe like a Boston Terrier type deal.
Yeah, that's my chihuahua.
That's like a regular chihuahua, and then they have like little
I would
teeny.
say regular.
Okay. Yeah, they're called ankle biters for a reason. Okay, I have 2 chihuahuas, and they are. I'll leave the door. I'll leave my house, right, and my dog, named Baby, she comes and bites at my ankles because I'm leaving, and I'm like, I turn around and look at her, and I'm like, really, what's the deal here? I feed you. I give you water, sustenance. I walk you outside when you have to go poo-poo and pee-pee, and you're just gonna treat me like this? This is unacceptable. I don't know why you do it. And then you turn around and they're like, hey. No, I was just telling you I didn't want you to leave. I love you.
I just can't stand the yapping because that's all they do.
Yeah.
Like if they just yap all
Don't
the time.
ring the doorbell. Never ring the doorbell.
Right?
Never ring the doorbell if you have chihuahuas, because
Oh my god.
you ring that doorbell and then it's like 20 minutes of just
I mean,
Jesus.
Granted, big dogs do that too, because
Yeah.
like my dog, I mean, she'll attack that door. She'll try to kick down the front door. But,
It's like, it's just the pizza man, Freya. Calm down.
Yeah, right.
Pizza?
I invited them to my house.
Why
But
you didn't
no.
say so? Show me that pizza.
But like no, I like big dogs. I don't like little tiny yappy little rats. I don't like those. Like no, like that's not going to protect you. That's going to run. Like if somebody broke into your house, the little dog's going to run away. Like you might hear it. You might hear it for 20 minutes. Them going. Yep, 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 yep,
Yeah,
yep.
I feel like that would
They're
be the
gonna run
main
away.
thing, is they would just alert you. I don't think that they're really going to do anything. They might like try to bite their ankle and then they just like kick them or something, you know?
Yeah,
like
just punt them across the room.
Oh, I mean, how? Yeah, that it sucks to think about that, but yeah, they probably would. If they're stealing things out of your house, they're probably going to punch your dog. So, Scary, what about you, buddy?
What? What's up?
You got any pets, parrots,
Nope.
snakes?
Nope.
Nothing?
Tarantulas?
Goldfish.
Goldfish?
Nope.
Yeah,
I got the snacks.
you think you'll ever get any
I got snacks.
animals, or is it just like animal free house? Because listen, I love my animals, but I admit it would be nice to not have to clean up poop every other day from an animal.
I actually have a problem where I don't like fur being everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Makes
So
sense.
that's why I don't have a dog or cat.
Why don't you
I
should get
had
one of those
goldfish.
skinless cats. What are those things? What are those called?
Those things are fucking creepy. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
No,
I
thank
agree.
you.
They're like aliens from the other planet.
It'd be
Somebody
great.
said skinless. No, yeah, it's hairless. Not skinless.
Hairless, damn it! Skinless. Okay, that sounded a lot worse than I.
Funnier.
Oh yeah.
That's not. Yeah, I meant hairless. Now I'm imagining this cat like running around with its muscles showing and like blood flying everywhere. And it's got some kind of congenital decision.
I need
That's
to Google that.
okay. That is creepy. All right, I'm sorry. I meant furless.
Like a Resident Evil dog, but like it's a cat.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, if you go right skinless cats, you get those cats, hairless cats.
I mean, they are a little
Convenient,
creepy.
right?
I get it.
Oh my
Well,
god.
some dogs don't shed that much. Like ours doesn't shed that much. I mean, it's a dog; it still sheds, and you still have to clean it up. But it's not like a lot. It's not like poof, and there's just
Well, yeah,
pet dander. and
because it's a
hairs.
short-haired dog, right? Like, yeah. You just don't want to get like long-haired dogs. Scary, like a golden retriever is like a dog with that long hair that's gonna shed everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like short-haired dogs are not awful. Obviously, they will shed a little bit. They also give my position away. Yeah, but Billy, though, you can't. What the dog will alert you, you know? Because what if you're in a really deep sleep? Okay, let's say you had a little fun last night. Okay, maybe you drank a little too much. You know, you imbibed a little too much, and you're falling asleep.
My dog.
You're good, man. And you don't know, like, you can't hear anything, right? Well, that's what that dog's there for. It barks, and you're like, what is the dog barking at? And then you get up, and someone has flashlights in your house, and then you go full ape.
Man, I got a sword hanging right by my bed. I'm going swing hard.
Full samurai.
Exactly.
I bet Cage have a lightsaber next to his bed.
I have a lightsaber in my room, and it's right over here. I have a lightsaber.
Oh, but
I have a lightsaber and a samurai
eventually-
sword right below it. Well, 3.
Eventually, my wife's gonna get a dog. She already wants one of those French bulldogs.
Oh, okay. That won't be too bad though. A French bulldog is not a horrible dog to get. Like, dude, she could be getting a Chihuahua, man. Okay.
I'd rather have a Chihuahua.
No, you would not. No, you would not. Scary.
No.
What do you mean? Chihuahuas are Mexican.
Not all of them are. Their ancestors are. They were from Chihuahua.
Okay. If it's short-haired Chihuahua, it's Mexican.
Yeah.
If it's long hair, then they're from somewhere
Norwegian.
colder. Yeah.
That makes sense.
The funny thing, we bought Chihuahua from short-haired parents, and our Chihuahua is totally not short hair. So I don't know how they evolve.
How many animals do you have, Wikis?
One Chihuahua.
Just the Chihuahua? So I'm the only one
Yeah.
with like multiple pets here?
We're totally fine. But when we got this Chihuahua, my wife said, you know what? After our last dog, this dog we can have 5. Because before we had a Shepherd, and he was big, and he was untrained,
Yeah.
and he was crazy, and everybody were walking around our house like 50 meters
Dude.
because they didn't even want to come close.
Big dogs are no joke because they it's like they don't know, especially the big dogs that don't think they're big dogs.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god,
they will run you down.
yes, and their tails, it's like they're walking around, their tails just like swinging and knocking shit off tables, and you know, you're just like, what are you doing? You're coming here knocking all this crap off, and they're just like, hey daddy, hey, how are you? Are you having a good day?
He's talking
I
to
love
me.
you." Yeah,
He's talking to me,
yeah. You're like yelling at him, and he's like, well, yeah, he's really excited about something. I wonder maybe he wants to go play with me outside. Oh, goats, baby goat. Oh yeah,
had to
Monopoly
tie
says baby
something-
goats. What?
I had to tie something heavy next to my dog, so when I walk him, I don't need to like hold him with all of my body, you know.
Yeah, have you ever had
can
your
drag
dog like
something else.
yank you, Ben, or Wiki's like you're walking them and they just get really excited and just kind of like bolt?
Look, when the
I
car
haven't had them bolt, but I have them had like pull, and like you just have to kind of rein them back. Like, no, I'm the one walking you. You're not walking me.
it didn't work with my dog. We were trying to train him and it didn't work so we just let it go. So every time the car wants to pass, I find a tree and I wrap around it fast. Because if I don't find the tree, I would need to wrap around myself and try to stand not to fall down. Because
Use
if I
yourself
fall
as a
down,
tree.
I would just go like this, like together with my dog. He was like 50 kilos, and he could easily pull 100 kilos, no problem.
So
I can just imagine Week is being dragged down the street by the dog.
you just like
My
you
wife
see the
was-
dog in a long chain,
my
and then
wife
it's
was
just he's
dragged down
just
the
being
street.
dragged along the sidewalk.
And not the one time she said she heard me. She said not one time she was dragged.
Tell her next
We
time to
even
get
have
it on video.
spikes. We had spikes in his neck. We tried that, but we didn't want to make pain to him because when we just tried.
Yeah,
We tried, and when he gets pain, he don't give a shit.
nah,
The pain for him.
they don't care.
Yeah,
They
and
don't give a crap.
we found out that he was a little bit sick, so probably that was a reason why he's always so stressed. He was
Wow.
always stressed, always on. And we later, when we found out that he's sick, we were feeding him medicine. That was also not good, but that's the only medicine that made him calm. Some kind of drugs, I think. But yeah, that's a sad story. Let's continue.
I was just gonna ask, kind of going back to video games and stuff, Ben. What kind of games do you like to stream? Like if you, because I know if you might be like me, you're kind of like a variety streamer. But I guess if you had to name your top 3, because you said single player games, and are there certain single player? I like single player games too because it's like, especially streaming, you can kind of focus more on your chat. Because you're not in a multiplayer, you can pause a single player game if you need to.
Right.
But a multiplayer game, you can't like pause Fortnite or PUBG and like and start talking to some. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just kind of curious, like to kind of hear what kind of games you like to play, man.
So I think I set up my categories right on my stream, so you should see them in like the different game categories. So
Yeah.
I like to play Just Cause 3. I love it. It's so dumb and it's so glitchy. You just have to wait long enough and it will glitch out in a way. And I've actually streamed Just Cause 3 a few times and I've seen new glitches on those streams. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know it would do that. I don't know what's up with the code. I don't think it has anything to do with Linux because it was glitchy when it was on Windows.
Yeah.
At least when I played on Windows 7 back in the day. So I like to play that. Let's see, what else have I streamed? I started streaming Resident Evil 4, but it's kind of hard because I don't have an actual PS2 controller. I have like this knockoff. Let's see. What else do I have?
Just Cause looks like it almost is it open world?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's kind of kind of like Far Cry-ish a little bit, sort of, where you can get in cars and different things, or
it's kind of like a G-rated Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You can blow anything up. You can shoot a rocket launcher. You
Yeah.
can, like, the whole point of the game is to liberate, this nation that's being oppressed by a dictator, and then you blow up the enemies. But it's beautiful though, and Just Cause 3 isn't like the latest game. They have a fourth installment. I don't have it. Some people like it. Some people don't. I haven't got it yet. But yeah, it's a fun game. Overload is a great game too. I started streaming that a little bit. It's a 6 Degrees of Freedom game where you're shooting in a ship to basically destroy enemy ships. Have you ever played Descent, like Descent 2, that series?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's that. It is the
Gotcha.
spiritual successor to that.
Okay.
Let's see what else we have. I haven't streamed these, but these are some that I've played, like Borderlands 2, Factorio. I finished up Littlewood. What else? Satisfactory is another, one single player game. I think you can get multiple people in there too. Arafel, which was a pretty fun RPG. I think it was from an indie studio. What else? That's all I can think of at the moment. But Streets of Rage 4, you can play it by yourself or with other people.
What about like retro games? Do you ever feel like you want to go back and kind of play some retro games? Or are you, because we've got a couple streamers like that's what they like to do. That's like kind of like their niche, is going and playing retro games. But for some reason, man, like I just, unless it's like Zelda or Mario, I feel like it's not gonna. I don't think any of my friends are gonna want to watch me play, Street Fighter 2 or something like that. Would it be fun for a little while? Absolutely.
Well, I'd love to do that. I don't know what the legalities of playing those games are. So I have original consoles. I have the NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, and 64.
Nice.
And I have a box of all these games. Funny enough, I haven't opened the box for 12 years. I found an original orange box, Half-Life 1 box. It says from like Kmart on it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't even think Kmart's in business anymore.
I think they're around somewhere, but yeah. Like that's how old the stuff in that box was. Like original game guides of
That's pretty awesome, man.
How to get everything at Super Mario 64 and how to be perfect.
Yeah, I used to love getting those things, man. The game guides. And you just felt like you were getting a lowdown. You were like, yes, I know everything now. I know it all. They gave you the secret codes in the back and stuff.
Oh yeah, all the secret codes.
Oh my dude.
I still have all that, but I want to stream those things. I don't know the legality of doing so because emulators are this gray area. I don't want to get a DMCA strike.
Yeah, because it's like everything. You get a DMCA strike for everything nowadays.
Yeah, I know, right? And like, I don't want to deal with that. Like this is a hobby.
I will get DMCA for those Pokemon.
Probably.
Like this is a hobby for me. Like I don't want to go to court for this. I've actually emailed Twitch, and they're kind of silent on it. Like they never got. They probably will never get back to me because it's that gray area where they don't really want to give a definitive answer.
Kind of on the same subject. Billy has a pretty good question. I honestly never thought about.
What's that?
As far as getting your kids into, and this is for all you guys, Scary Wikis, you too, and I'll answer as well. But Ben, I'd like to hear your answer first. Do you think, people get their kids into games like soccer, football, baseball, do you think esports is a thing that could rival that? And it's like, hey, I want, let's get them into esports, get them talking to their friends, playing video games. Do you think that is a thing? Do you think it could be a thing? Like parents might start doing that. Do you think it's good that parents start doing that? I just honestly never thought about that until you asked that, Billy. So I'm kind of interested to hear everybody's answer on that.
I think, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
I think esports are the new biggest thing because of how we are evolving. It's less, contact sports. People want to watch people compete. Like what was it, the Fortnite Cup? That was the $1 Million Cup. I heard a lot of people watch that.
Yeah,
Or
people still want to watch that competition, but it's like your kid's not going to get hurt playing on a computer,
Maybe emotionally if they lose, but
that's true. Maybe arthritis or oh my god, why can I not think of that thing when you hurt your wrist? What is that called? Thank you, Jesus. Why can I not think of it? So you think it would? Yeah. So you're saying yes, Gary?
Yeah, I mean that's the new biggest thing right now. I mean, in a couple of years we might get that. I don't know if you guys watch anime, but we might get full dive technology, where now people are gonna fully immerse themselves into games, and that'll be the new thing. Is watching people actually battle it out, but virtually.
Yeah. Gotcha. Ben, what about you, bro?
As a guy who works in cybersecurity, that sounds scary. Of
Yeah.
anyone getting deep at, like, this is a horrible example, but Sword Art Online.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where they just like they're in the game. Like, now, dude, if you're in the game, wherever your mind is, somebody can do something crazy, like control you in the game or put you in a virtual prison, or send something back. Like, that'd be horrible. But
they had that one season where there was people actually killing people who were full diving. Like they would find out their address and then they would kill them in game, thinking that, oh, okay, I'm gonna kill you and it's gonna be for real. So when they kill them in the game, there's another person that kills them in real life, and they just fuck with everybody.
Yeah, see, I stopped watching that in like the episode 12 because it got really stupid. But for Billy's question though, like, I think it can be a really big thing. I mean, even if it does, like Mel said, Ready Player One, like, that would be awesome. Like, it would be super cool to do. I don't think I would do it, even though it sounds super fun to me. I think esports are probably maybe a good way to build some teamwork with kids, unless it's they're just all acting like 12-year-olds in an online game. But I don't know, like, physical sports. There's a place for that. Like, I was not a football guy.
Yeah, me neither.
I played t-ball when I was a kid, and I liked volleyball, and I couldn't run, so like I was on doing soccer, but like I was always like the goalie because they're like, yeah, that kid can't run. Don't make him run.
Yeah, like just what's the best goalie? Let's put him on goal.
Yeah. Stand around and wait. Yeah, that's you. That's what you're gonna do.
Oh, he's the biggest kid. We'll put him as goalie because they can't get past him.
Yeah, I mean, I did football my freshman year and sophomore, but I didn't really like it. Like, I didn't really get super into it. It was just kind of like one of those things like, oh, I'll get to hang out with my friends, because some of my friends were on the football team, and I was just like, I guess I'll join. Why not? But then it's like you do it, and you're like, oh, this takes up way too much time, man. I got to go to practice like 2-3 days a week, go to the games, and it I don't know. It just that's my kind of deal. Like, I tried it, it wasn't for me.
Yeah, and see, for me, I was never really into sports. I just kind of did them because my parents said, "Hey, do it."
Yeah.
And here's the thing: I'm glad they did, because I'm more of an introvert. I'm not really outgoing. I don't really, again, like sports. But like, it got me to experience something that I never would have experienced because I didn't want that. And, you're going to hear kids like, oh, I don't want to go to practice. Well, like, just go to practice. You signed up for it, go to practice.
Right. It gives them that sense of responsibility.
Yeah, yeah. Like if telling them like this is something that like you sign up for, you need to kind of go.
You need to
go
follow
along
through.
with it because follow. That's what I was thinking of. You have to follow through, and keep your promises, stuff like that.
And see, you doing that as a young kid, that kind of reflected when you got older, because how you were talking about, you know what, I don't want to join the military, but if it's something that I need to do, I'm gonna do it because I need to do it. And it's like people don't like to correlate a lot of things like that, but it is, because as a young kid, you're molding their minds and their and their personalities and stuff, and you want to teach them, like you said, like if you make a promise, you need to follow through with that promise. You need to learn responsibility and accountability. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of younger, not young kids, but like 20-year-olds and stuff, they don't really have that a lot. These youngins, man. And it sucks because like, I guess it's just our age and stuff, and our age group. Our mom and dad always were like, you need to make sure that if you say something, you're gonna do something, you need to do it. And maybe they didn't like it. Maybe those parents that raised those kids didn't like that they did that, and they're like, well, I'm not gonna tell my kid that. And it's just nice to know that that's what I'm gonna teach my son. Like, if you make a promise, if you say to someone, I'm gonna do this, unless it's an emergency, you need to do it, whether you like it or not. And it builds character, man.
It does. And here's the thing, like, this is me as a kid, and I know as raising 3 other kids, and I've taken care of other people's kids in the past. Like, it's kind of all the same. Kids aren't going to do something unless you kind of tell them to do it, right? Like, I would sit at home, and I did this as a kid. I played Super Mario 64 all day, every day after school. It's all I did. Right. That and like Star Fox 64 and Perfect, any type of video game. That's all I did because that's all I wanted to do. So trying to get your kid out of that bubble for their benefit, and they may not like it. Like, sign them up for soccer. Well, I don't want to do soccer. Just try it. Like, you won't understand this now because you're a kid, but you'll understand it later that, parents are trying to let you make friends, trying to get you a little physical exercise. Because there are a lot of studies out there, screen time, like the amount of screen time can really trigger like hyperactivity in kids, loss of focus, a lot of disobedience because, and I'm not a scientist, but like they're so focused on the thing. Like, when you detach it, it's that transitioning period from I'm doing something I really, really want to do, and I'm not. Like, when you turn off the screen, or you tell them to get off, and
they like get upset about it, and
so screens aren't bad, sports aren't bad, esports aren't bad, but moderation and getting them to try new things, like, I think that's something that really benefits kids.
Yeah, and
especially like physical sports. It doesn't have to be like something really. Some people don't like football because concussions and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be that.
I got into ROTC.
Golf is a sport.
Like ROTC, like the rifle team, that was physical, and it was like all my friends that were on the rifle team, they were all nerdy, just like me. But you know what? We slung rifles. We had to do push-ups. We had to do sit-ups because we had to keep in. You had to hold that rifle for 20 or 30 minutes while you're doing a competition or something, and you can't just have weak little arms and stuff to hold that thing, man. So yeah, exactly. Martial arts, rock climb. I mean, that's the thing. Like, people, when you think about it, you don't just be like, just football, soccer, or baseball. There's so many other crazy things that they can do, and it's like, get them out there. And you know what the main thing is? Get them out there to spend all that energy, so they'll come home and go to freak to sleep. Is what it is another good thing.
another pro tip.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
Now,
And
it,
like Phil the Burnout said, yeah, non-competitive sports are a thing too. Like, um, it doesn't have to be contact sports.
Right.
It doesn't have to be something we're all trying to win something, but you know, does to motivate them a little bit more.
What were you saying, Scary?
now, am I the only one who hates the idea of participation trophies?
I hate it.
I hate it. I mean,
Like,
if I'm being honest, I don't think they should give. I get it. I get that kids need to feel like they're accomplishing something, but I feel like if you give them out, that's where they get that sense of entitlement, sort of.
right? Like kids need to learn that you're gonna fucking lose.
It's a fact of life, man, and
Because
it's not
I-
bad to lose.
Oh my god! Like
Yeah.
I've met some kids, and oh my god, like these kids want everything. They never learn that they can't have everything. But that's what participation trophies basically do. They say, "Oh, you might not have won, but you still won." I
They
think.
probably never played Fall Guys.
Yeah, they never played Fall Guys ever. Mm-mm. But yeah, it's I feel like it might be something that I would let my kid do, but I would balance it out, and I would basically be like, all right, look, you're not gonna spend all day on the computer. Like, I want you, if that's something you're into and you really want to get into it and do esports and stuff, that's awesome. I'll back you, but you're not gonna do that all the time. You're
gotta
gonna
work
get
2
out.
hours a day.
Yeah, you're gonna go out. You're gonna play. You can devote an hour or two a day to that if you want, and I'll be there and I'll help you. I'll get you a PC, whatever you want. But I feel like you have to kind of limit it, man. Like you said, Ben. Like you don't want them to have a ton of screen time all the time. So I feel like there can be a balance, but you have to, as a parent, man, you have to learn when to say no. You have to learn when to say no. You can't just let your kid run all over you, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And here's the thing. A lot of some new parents don't get this. Like, you're not supposed to be a friend. You're supposed to be a parent. Like, you're supposed to be a leader. Like, yes, you can be friendly and kind and loving, and you're supposed to be all those things. But I'm not my kid's best friend. I am their parent. I'm there to grow these little kids into big adults.
Right.
Like, I have to let them understand that in the real world, not everyone wins, but winning is not like the number one priority in people's lives, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
You're going to lose, and that's okay because you learn from it. Learn from it and move on. What can you learn from the situation and keep going forward? So yeah, I don't like the idea of participation trophies. One thing I did see when my son was on a basketball team is what they did was they gave awards for like different categories just for that one team, not for both teams.
Right.
So whether they won or lost, the coach would say, who was the most motivated this week, or or who was the most motivated this week, or who had the most improvement, who tried their hardest, who had the most, who had the most shots.
Right.
So it's still kind of competitive.
Right. You're still aiming to be like, I want a guy who makes the most 3-pointers. I want to be that guy. Or I want to be the guy who is like always passing. I'm always passing. I'm always a team player. Like, see, that way kids are getting like noticed, but they're also learning that you can't just sit back and not do anything and earn a trophy. You've got to work for it. See, I like that idea because that way people, they still get trophies, but they learn that they still have to work for it.
Right. What I hated growing up was having a group project and doing all the work.
Oh my God.
Have the kid, like the 1 or 2 kids in the 4-group or 3-group project where they don't do anything.
Scary was one of those kids, I bet.
That's the part of the
no,
thing.
no. I took the L. If I was the only one doing the work,
What?
I took the L. I was like,
Why are you laughing?
Everybody's getting Fs.
Yeah, you're like you do all the work and then you come in and you're just like, I thought you guys did it. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, that was you.
Yeah, like wait, no, but I thought you were doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, man. If you're that kid that does it, and and I hate sometimes because life is like you're walking this fine line, man, and it's like you can't lean too much to the left and you can't lean too much to the right. You've got to walk this line and balance, going back and forth, going back and forth. And sometimes you just want to lean one way, man, and just say, fuck it. Pardon my French, but you just want to lean one way. And just, it sucks because you do that. Somebody's going to be on your butt about something. They're going to say, well, you shouldn't have done that. That wasn't the right thing to do. And I think people, I feel like people are a little sensitive nowadays, and we need to learn how to be a little more. Maybe it's because my dad was a Marine. He was a Marine for like 6 years in Vietnam War. He just taught me life is not easy. You need to build some calluses on you. He's like, you need to learn how to live and deal with life, because things are going to come at you and they're not going to care whether you have your feelings are hurt. He's like, you need to learn how to deal with things, and you need to learn how to live life to the fullest, and don't be upset, don't be mad because you didn't get your way, because you're not going to get your way all the time. He said that's just the way life is. He's like, did you think I wanted to be out in the jungles, fighting a war that I didn't want to fight? No, but I did it because, my country asked me to do it. And so I get it, and like I said, I don't know if that's just because that's the way I was brought up, but I just, if you want to learn, you need to lean. It's just, and I get it, man. I understand why a lot of people are, upset about certain things, and that that's what's great about America, man. You have the right to be, you have the right to be upset about whatever you want to be, and that's why I love this country. That's why I love everybody, and especially military and stuff, because they fight to keep that freedom. You know what I mean? They go beyond, and they do things so you can sit at your house and play video games,
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel like it needs to change a little bit, and you know what? As us as parents, hopefully that will do it. Maybe we'll teach our kids, you're not going to get a participation trophy, okay? You need to learn to work for what you want. And hopefully our kids will teach their kids. And maybe we can, make, get kids where they're not, I don't know, don't think that they are.
Come on, boomer.
Oh my God. Right? Jesus. Scary. I like that. Did you just make that, dude? When did you get that done?
I don't make stuff.
No, I know, but the one where you're like, look, the one to the right, not the one where he's squatting down, but the one. Did you just get that made or something? I haven't seen that one before.
That's my profile picture.
Is it? Oh, God, I guess I just don't pay attention. I'm sorry. So yeah, I mean, we've been going for a good while. See, you did it, Ben. We've been talking for an hour and 30 minutes, man. You did it. I'm so proud of you, bro.
I didn't know if we could talk this long.
I'm so proud of you, man. This is your first time, and you
just bring up the Star Wars.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Star Wars one time.
No, wait, we did. We brought it up because we said lightsabers.
Okay. I mean, that wasn't kind of in passing, though, right?
He's like, oh, I got one in my room.
I'm about to lose all my followers. I'm a Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
Wait, I just followed you. Wait, I need to unfollow.
Yeah, it's like I'm unfollowing. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, because every time I feel a dad joke, I literally have everyone in my chat just say, "All right, unfollow." How do I unfollow you, Cage? Okay, so you know how many times Scary's said that to me when I tell a dad joke? He's like, how do I unfollow you, Cage? Where's that hard? Okay, yeah, click. Thank you.
No, hold on. Now we got to talk about something serious. How many, like, above the head jokes the fucking Jim Carrey Grinch movie has? Like, kids won't understand them, but get an adult and you fucking like, this was in the fucking movie?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that like with all old school like Disney-esque like cartoonish movies? Like it's like they have two things. They have the kid part version of they have the kid part in the show, and then they have that part that's like only the adults are knowing what's going on. The kids are just kind of like, that was weird. I don't really get that, but haha, whatever, right? They're like, oh, he just had the
They
little
do have
doggy
that.
do a flip.
They keep interest for every age.
That and I kind of like that as long as they don't go too far, like with the whole subliminal thing where they're like showing weird things or something like that. Like
Disney
In
does.
Russia,
yeah,
there's one classic movie that I'm watching it almost every year before Christmas, New Year. And that movie is made long time ago. There was a lot of strict rules to make that movie. You cannot say that, you cannot show that, you cannot do that. And they managed to make such a great movie that when I watched when I was 10 years old, I found a lot of funny stuff. When I watched when I was 16 years old, I found a new funny stuff. And when I'm now already super adult and I know what it live is, I found another funny jokes in that movie, but I kind of skipped the childy jokes. So that movie is super amazing. I mean, you grow with that movie and you watch it every year and you notice something different.
yeah, you're a super adult, Wikis.
Yes, I'm a super adult now.
But yeah, man.
I just don't want to say I'm super old, so I'll stick with
Nah,
super
let's
adult.
just stick with super adult. I like that better. No one wants to be called old here, okay? Even though sometimes we feel like it when we wake up in the morning and you don't want to get out of bed because everything hurts. Your elbows, knees, arms, head.
There's that pop song or whatever type of song it is. It's my neck, my back, and I'm like, my neck, my back,
Yep.
my legs, and my calves.
Yep.
Yeah,
All of that.
That's what hurts.
My foot, my
All that.
ankle, my elbows, my knee. It's just like it's easier to tell people what doesn't hurt, I feel like sometimes. Right?
But everything hurts.
Right. So you're just like, you know what? My hair doesn't hurt. How about that? Everything else?
Yeah, my hair doesn't hurt either.
Okay, I do have a question before we start asking the final questions. Did you choose to shave your hair? Because I know my buddy, he started getting a little bit of male pattern baldness, and he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna nip it in the butt and just shave it off. And that's when he just started going, and it worked for him. You know what I mean? Like some people, I feel like the bald thing does not work. The bald thing works. Okay, like you look like it's okay for you to have a shaved head, but there are some people, like one of my friends who still has his hair and stuff, and he shaved it once, and I was like, dude, you look awful. Don't shave your head ever again, please. You know what I mean? So did you choose to do it? Was it like one of those things where you're like, you know what? I'm starting to lose a little bit of hair, man. I need to, I'm just going to screw it. Yeah.
Well, it was a gradual acceptance of going bald. So I was actually a teenager, and I had, I think I was 18.
Yeah.
And I had this medicine I had to take, and a weird side effect was like hair loss. But I had like the male pattern baldness kind of going on here. But like I had like long, shaggy hair, And
really?
It started in the back, and I was like, where'd the hair? Like I felt it. Like there's a little patch. I'm like, where'd the hair go?
That's
it was just like a little bald, and then it kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then like I got like the Caesar ring going on. I'm like, dude, this is not okay. Like I'm not even 20 yet. Like what the heck's going on? So basically, it just kind of accelerated what was already going to happen in my life. So eventually, I was like, no, I'm not doing that, and I just shaved it off, and I've been bald ever since. So, I mean, it saves on haircuts. So I guess that's
it's easy. You just make sure you're like, okay, I just got to shave all the hair.
Not only on haircuts, on shampoo also.
Oh yeah, man. So you can like.
But I think you use more shampoo on your beard than on your head.
You do have a pretty nice beard, man. I gotta admit, I'm digging the beard. I mean,
I had like a ZZ Top looking beard at one point, and I'm like,
oh
I
yeah,
can't deal with it. It looked cool. It looked really cool.
I love it, right? But
like when you do this, like when you bend your head down, like it would like get itchy, and
I know, in like you're
babies
eating
pull it.
and things like fall in it and you don't realize it until like a few little bit later, and then you like go
No,
to just kind of do this and you're like, what the heck is this, a Cheez-It? What the frick, you know?
Ew.
You got a Cheez-It in your beard? No? Am I the only person? Okay, that's all right.
No, it was mostly babies pulling it, or it just being itchy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I also did jujitsu for a while until our dumb school closed because of this
COVID
pandemic thing. But
yeah.
yeah,
Nice, you
and
took
then, like,
jujitsu, man? Hell yeah.
yeah. So I was almost a black belt.
That's
hopefully
impressive.
I'll be working on that come this next year.
Are they, so is your school specifically, because I know how it is, like I used to take taekwondo. I know that's not as fancy as jujitsu, but I know when you get a good school, you start to kind of like, you get to know the instructor and you have friends there and stuff, so it's like it's hard to kind of just be like, screw it, I'll just go to another school. Is your school planning on opening back up anytime soon, or?
No, they closed for good.
Oh man,
good people. Love the teachers there. It's not Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's a little different. It's like based off Japanese jiu-jitsu and some combatives. It's really cool, but it's like you won't find it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Love the teachers, but the whole pandemic thing happened. They had savings. Like, you know what, we're gonna be good, small business owners. We're gonna take from the savings. Eventually, everything's gonna open back up. It never did. Savings went out. The landlord was like, no, you need to pay. And then they were like, we can't. And then they had to close. It was really unfortunate because there's a lot of people that loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's a nice community. And you can get your kids into it and stuff too. They learn discipline and things like that. That's why I really like martial arts, and that's why I'm definitely going to get my son. I don't know what type of martial arts I want to get him into, but I definitely want to get him into something because it helped me with discipline and learning to focus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to get this done, and you need to, if you're going to commit to this, then you need to commit to it. You got to go to these classes because my dad was like, I'm paying for these classes, so you better freaking go to them,
Yeah, they can get expensive.
Yeah, they can.
But yeah, for Mel, yeah, this was that one place that we went to, that I still went to, unfortunately. Yeah, she knows which one I'm talking about.
Beaver.
But yeah, like, I would recommend jiu-jitsu. I know a lot of people love taekwondo, and there's nothing wrong with taekwondo. It's more form-based. Actually, I took taekwondo. I'm still technically like an orange belt in taekwondo. I had stopped it because of my knee. It just kept hurting from it.
The kicks, yeah. If you don't got good, yeah, because they're all about kicks, man.
Yeah, so like, it's very.
Plus, you get old and fat like me.
Well, that happens.
And I used to be able to kick over a person's head, and now if I tried it, it'd be more like I'd kick them right in their jaw, Yeah. But I'd be aiming over their head and just kick them right in their head, and you're like, oh shit, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Because I tried that once. They're like, oh man, Taekwondo, so you got high kicks. I was like, listen, it's been a while, okay, all right, you need to chill. They're like, oh no, come on, man.
I don't think I can high kick anymore, man. That was years ago.
Yeah, you try to do it now, and it's like that thing where you're like, you try too hard, and then your other foot slips out from under you, and you just slam and hit the floor.
You throw your hip out. You're like, man, I'm 30. I can't be.
Yeah, your knee and your hip, your knee and your hip and your ankle, and you're like, how did that all? It hurt. I heard it all at once just from kicking.
It used to not be like that. It used to be flexible.
No, yeah, it used to be flexible. You could put your. Yeah, getting old sucks is what, and you know what? I'm just going to say it. Yeah. Getting old sucks.
I keep telling my son, I'm like, son, don't get old. It sucks.
enjoy your youth. That's what I'm going to tell my son when he starts to talk. I'm just going to grab him, and I'm going to hold him really close, and I'm just going to say, enjoy while you're young. Don't ever get old because it sucks so bad. Just do everything you possibly can while you're young, because when you get old and your knees, you can't even move out of bed. You have to sit there for 20 minutes so your body can get used to moving again. Yeah.
The problem is we understand that too late. So, well.
I don't really know how you can do that because they're like, it's the whole conundrum of when you're young, you want to be old. When you're old, you want to be young. So it's like a never-ending loop of crap.
Yeah.
But the scientists proved one cool thing. If you stick doing a lot of things that you were doing while you were young, you can bring back like around 5 years. You will start feeling younger. It's like they did testing on older people. They asked them, "Can you start doing what you were enjoying when you were 16-year-old?" Like, I enjoyed painting. So they started painting. The other enjoyed running. They started running, and then they kind of brought back 5 to 10 years of at least the way they feel.
Yeah.
They didn't look younger, but they started feeling younger. This is psychology.
Yeah. Feeling younger is
How
awesome.
much do you do stuff what you were doing when you were 16? What are you doing now from that time? You're pooping. I know we all pooping from.
Oh my god.
Man, all you guys make me feel young.
Yeah. That's good.
You're all old.
Yeah, we are old. Shut up. All right. You and your young ass. All right. I don't want to hear it. Scary. So Ben, I have 2 questions to ask you. These are questions we ask everybody when we're getting to the end of the podcast, winding down. What is your favorite thing about being a streamer? And what is your favorite thing about being a parent?
Okay. So about being a streamer, it's nice to be able to kind of share who you are while you're streaming and gaming. Because like when you game, unless you're like playing multiplayer with other people that you actually know and actually know you, they're not going to get your quirks or your inside jokes or whatever. But when you stream, it's kind of like you can be yourself and let people see you as you being yourself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I kind of like that. And it's kind of hard for me because somebody wrote in my other stream, he's like, man, he's laser focused, and like I do, because I'll be there and I'm like, you'll just see me do this the whole time.
I've watched your streams before, and you're just watching the video game.
Like, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, dude, no, don't be sorry. It's hard to get out of that mindset that you're concentrating on the game, but you're like, you wanna. That's the whole streaming thing. You have to. Yeah. It's so hard to get out of that mindset and be like, I need to say something. Shit, I need to say something. I've been quiet for like 4 minutes. What am I gonna say? I don't know what I'm gonna say.
How many of you know Nick Mertz?
I've watched him. Yeah.
You see how he's streaming? Always his webcam like this. You just see his forehead. Always.
Oh my god.
Well, that's something I have to work on too, because like I'll get into the game and I'll lean forward and like you'll see me like this and I'll think about it. I'm like, nope, I need to sit back.
Yeah. Hey, see, at least you're getting there though, because you're thinking about things like that. Normally, you wouldn't care. You'd be like leaning as close to the screen as you possibly could.
Yeah, you're like,
wait, what's that? I can't really see. Hold on. Oh yeah, okay, I see it now. And what's weird is what you said about your friends, like. Dad, I don't really say a lot of dad jokes to my friends, just because like they'll be like, "Why are you telling dad jokes? What are you being weird for?" But like that's who I am. Like I love telling corny jokes, and it's like I went on stream and I started telling them, and people were like, "This is hilarious. I love your dad jokes." And I was like, "Really? You actually like my dad jokes?" Wow. Okay.
it's a badge of honor.
Yeah.
They're like, you have to wear.
They're like, okay, maybe is going a little too far, but we get it, is what we're saying. We'll deal with it, is what we're telling you. And I'm just like, they'll deal with it. That's great. I'll take it.
I have the bad habit of when I'm focused, I start to smile. So like, if while we were playing Outward, you remember that one time we were fighting those big ass things?
Yes.
Oh my god, I was smiling so hard. I was like, I have to kill these things.
Right? Yeah, because you don't even realize what you're doing. You don't you only realize it when you start streaming. That you're like, what am I? You look at yourself and you're like, what the hell am I doing right now?
Yeah,
You know, like what is that weird face I'm making? Like your concentration face? You know, you like your tongue out or something. Like I had a friend.
The first person who said me that was my wife.
Yeah.
She said, "What are you doing with your lips when you're concentrating and shooting with that sniper rifle?" And I went on my wall to check, and I was doing like this. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, you don't
I
even
don't
realize
feel
you're
myself
doing it.
this. No,
Oh my god, dude.
this is a concentrated emotion. You never know what you're doing when you're concentrated. You can be like,
Yeah, streaming though, you'll find out real quick. Like, whoa, I need to stop whatever that is. I need to stop doing it right now, you know? But okay, so what about being a parent? What's your favorite thing? Obviously I know it's hard to pick one, but if you could pick one, like what is one of your favorite things about being a parent?
Well, I would say that the lessons you learn, and for me, like I believe in God, so I know that God has taught me so many things with my kids: how to be more patient, how to be more loving, how to be less selfish,
Oh yeah.
how to be more kind. Um, it's crazy when you see these little, basically mini yous running around.
Yep.
And if you give them attitude, they're going to give it back to you, right? Like you'll hear them say the exact words that you have said to them at some point in the past, and you're like, "Oh gosh, I can't believe I said that." You know, not necessarily bad things, but you're um, like for instance, you see your kids go over to the pantry, and you're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And like there'll be times where like I want a snack, right? And the
Yeah.
kids are distracted. And I'll walk over to the pantry, and I'll hear my kids, "Hey, what are you doing?" And
You're
I'm
like, dang it, dang it.
They absorb. Yes.
They're little mirrors.
No,
Yes,
they're
that is
little
a
mirrors. They
great
really
way of
are.
putting it.
You know, they'll show you your best and worst qualities, and it helps you to um, not only help them grow up to a better potential than yourself, but to also grow yourself too. Um, so I think that's kind of the best thing about parenting. Like kids are amazing, and they are so frustrating. They're so frustratingly difficult, but you love them.
Yep.
And they're cute, and when they're being, when they're being cute and loving, it's so sweet. Like I wouldn't trade that for anything. It's so great. So that's kind of that's what I would say.
A great answer, man. Great answer. You know, and it is. It's that's what's great about being a parent is you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like you're never, especially being a parent, even if you're not a parent, you're always learning. But as a parent, it's like you're teaching, but you're always learning at the same time, and it's really crazy to think that a little 9-month-old baby or whatever is teaching you something, but they are.
Yeah, you're preaching to yourself,
right?
A lot.
Exactly. Awesome, man. Well, I think this has been a great podcast. This is great. We took 2 weeks off and we came back strong with Ben be rocking. You know, I am super proud of you, man. Like I don't think honestly, if we wouldn't have told anybody, I don't think people would have thought that you were a first time podcaster. So you did great, man.
Why we should tell it.
I don't think you said or like once at all. I don't even think you said that once.
I try
really
hard. Like it looks like I'm being cool right now, but
Yeah.
no, I'm trying like really hard.
So, I just want to say thank you for coming on, man. Like I said, I know you were nervous and stuff, but it means a lot to me and Wiki's.
Who's nervous? Me nervous? You
Probably.
nervous? Me nervous?
Yeah.
Who's nervous? Me nervous?
Scary, probably not so much. But it honestly, me and Wiki Scary. It means a lot for us, for you to come on, man, and we're glad to have you on. And I just want to say, keep it up, dude. Keep your streaming up. Guys, if you have not followed Ben Be Rockin', by the way, you need to go follow his Twitch channel. Follow him on...
I'm trying to get YouTube working.
Okay.
I just have to... So, working on YouTube, trying to upload old videos.
Yep.
I know Twitch has a weird policy for affiliate. That
YouTube's a little easier to get because you know what I mean. Then you can edit them and stuff. You can't really edit VODs. I guess you could edit it then upload it, but that's just kind of a pain in the butt. What about social media?
I've just been uploading them after the fact.
There you go. What about social media and stuff? You got Twitter, Facebook.
I have a Facebook, not using it. I have a Twitter. It's mostly memes and
memes are awesome. Listen, memes are always going to be a great way to get people to notice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just the way our world is. Memes, people love memes, and they always will love memes. Yeah, phone number, address.
No, I don't understand memes.
You don't understand memes, wikis?
No.
Listen,
it's funny, but in picture form.
Yeah, it's to explain explain memes to you.
The funny part.
We're gonna have to I'm gonna have to pull you into another voice chat. It's gonna be maybe we can make that a podcast episode. We'll try to explain memes to wikis because it'll probably take an hour.
I had a big community of meme persons, and I mean they were throwing memes all over the place.
Just never got it.
Funny. No, I'm from a different country. I mean,
it's kind of like a Vine, okay? Like they used to have Vines, but then memes are almost like a Vine, but it's just there's no sound. All right, it's just only letters sometimes and something going on, and you're just and then someone does it, and they're like, "Hey, that's hilarious. I'm gonna make I'm gonna use that, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit," and then it just goes crazy.
Maybe I was using old generation. I mean, new generation memes that doesn't work on me. Maybe you will throw at me some old generations that will work on me.
Well, hey, as I get older, I notice that wow, I don't understand some of the newer memes. I'm like, I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, it must be. That's I'm the same way because I'll see it and I'm just like, I don't get that one, man. I don't get it at all. But,
I'm challenging you guys. Drop me a meme so I would laugh.
Bam! No laugh challenge. Let's go.
No laugh challenge. All right.
Yeah, should I go live?
Ben, thank you so much, dude, again for being on the podcast, man. I greatly appreciate it, brother. Wikis, thank you, my dude. Always beside me, my main man, Wikis. And then Scary, dude, this is your second podcast, bro. I'm so proud of you for coming on here and hanging out, man. It just means a lot to me that on such short notice you were just like, you know what, I'll fill in. And I appreciate it. I just want you to know that, Scary. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, of course.
In chat, as always, where would we be without you guys? You know, making fun of us, giving us questions to ask. By the way, chat, before we end the podcast, does anybody have any questions that you want to ask Ben, me, Wiki, Scary, anything? Maybe?
Q&A?
Get a little Q&A? You just want to say hi?
Hey, what?
All right, cool. So, crickets. So, when we playing Phasmo again? I don't know. When are we going to play Phasmo again? Probably.
I do have VR.
Probably soon, I'm guessing.
Oh my god, Phasmo VR gives me motion sick.
I don't know if I want to try Phasmo VR because that sounds extremely scary. I already scream like a girl when I play Phasmo non-VR.
I'll tell you what, you being able to control your own flashlight with your hand, so much fucking creepier.
Yeah, dude.
Man.
It's like 20 times more intense.
Yeah, me saying, yeah, oh god, yeah, that would, it'd be taken to a whole nother level.
Oh god.
But now all I have is one question for you guys. Who should we raid?